So good day everyone. So we are the group 6 and we will going to discuss about the chapter 7, how to write a business plan. So before anything else, let us first know the learning outcome of this particular module. So we will able to learn the necessary components of writing a business plan, as well as we will be able to make our own business plan. So what is business plan? Since we already discussed this in our previous discussion with Sir Batcha, I will only give a brief description about this one. So, business plan, it is a written document which will being prepared by an entrepreneur. It is a blueprint of step-by-step process which should be followed in order to make business ideas to a successful business venture. So now we have here the parts of business plan. It starts with the cover sheet, table of content, to be followed by the executive summary, organizational plan, marketing plan, financial document, and supporting documents. Later on, we'll be able to know what are the description or the things behind this part of business plan. So let's proceed for the next slide. Now let's start with a title page or cover sheet. Um, this one, it is a single document wherein it emphasizes all the important aspects of a business plan. It conveys information about the business plan as well as for those interested parties. So, the level of quality of appearance, tone of your cover page, as well as the perspective of the materials that follows. So, aligns with it or ensuring it aligns the organization objectives is essential to a success. So, in making this one, you need to first have your logo, add title, company name, and address or location or contact information, as well as you need to identify the completion date, and of course you need to have a confidentiality statement. So next slide, we have here a table of contents. So this table of content simply had the list of major section and its page number, wherein we can found the specific content that we want to see or read. So this one, I don't need to explain further about this one because I know all of us know what is table of content is. So next slide, we have here the executive summary. So for the executive summary, um, it simply describe the business structure, goals, and purpose, as well as it's also stated there the production of your product, as well as it talks about your product and overall marketing strategies. And it also stated there the person behind the business and what are their skills of your management team, as well as how the business will be managed. And you need to state there as well the terms and amount that are needed to be financing, how it will be used for, as well as how the loan will be repaid. So now we have here the organizational plan. So for this organizational plan, based on my research, there are two major sections of a company profile, which are the organization and management and the product or services. So here in organizational plan, you need to give a brief description of your company. It is the overview of your business, wherein it tells when and why the business is formed, as well as it addresses to the mission, business model, strategies, and strategy relationship, as well as the SWOT analysis. So for the products or services, if ever you are the manufacturer or the distributor, you need to you need to you need to give a brief or a description about your product as well as the manufacturing process. But if you are the retailer or reseller, You need to give a description as well to your product and how are you going to sell this one. So, in your future plans, you need to describe there as well your future products, your future or your future plans to what can you provide to your customers. So we also have there the intellectual property, the location, of course. It is needed to have a legal no arrangement for that one. Agreements, proof of photos, diagrams, as well as a sale signature of the property for that location in order to avoid no conflicts. So for the legal structure, it can be the sole proprietorship, partnership, corporation, and LLC. LLC, I'm not talking about the Lapu-Lapu City, but it stands for the Limited Liability Company. So for the sole proprietorship, it is a wherein the business owns an incorporated business by himself or herself. So for the partnership, so of course it is an agreement between two parties or a company or group of people who agrees to manage a business and operate a business and share its profit. For the corporation, it usually a group of people, company or parties which are being authorized to act as single entity for a certain purposes. For the LLC or limited liability company, wherein the owner of the LLC is being called as member and of course a partner of the business entity with all the protection of the corporation plus the ability to pass through the business profit and lose to their personal income tax return. So it also stated there the description of the skills, education, as well as in order to make or to ensure the business success.
So, before I start my discussion, why it's so important having a marketing plan is to identify your target market and how your product or services can benefit it. So, marketing plan. Marketing plan defines all the component of your marketing strategy, as well as you will address the details of your market analysis, sales, advertising, and public relation campaigns. So, overview and goals of your marketing strategy. First, the overview. The target audience must know your product and solution, and for the goals of your marketing strategy, the primary goal is to generate revenue and marketing achieve. So, what is generating revenue? It is a process of planning, marketing, and selling product with the ultimate aim is to generate income. And for marketing achieve, best example is this is when you are working in establishment and you have a good working skills and so that you get promoted. Next is marketing analysis. Diri naka-indicate ang imuhang target market, competitors, and also your strength and weaknesses. And for marketing strategy, the greatest opportunity to increase sales and sustainable competitive advantages.
So next is the assessment of marketing effectiveness. In this topic, it helps you analyze your company's assets and activities in order to determine what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, and make recommendation on what you should do to best position your brand to take advantage of the market and the audience.
Good morning, everyone. I am Juster Magali, one of the reporter from Group 6, and the topic that I'm going to discuss is all about the financial documents. So, financial documents, also known as financial statements, are used for reporting financial information in a business. So, in a standardized format, they include a balance sheet, and income statements, and a cash flow statement. So the financial documents uses a quantitative interpretation of everything you stated in organizational and marketing plans. They are purely driven numbers, and quantitative business method are the process and algorithms to help corporate managers and executive to make decisions and to predict outcomes. So, like what I said, a quantitative interpretation is a purely number driven. For example, is the people who download the particular applications in app stores. So, another example is the measurements of the physical things or the physical objects. And financial documents has the following majors, the major documents. Number one is the summary of financial needs, the loan fund dispersal statements, the pro forma cash flow statements, the 3 years income projections, the projected balance sheets, and the break-even analysis. Financial summary gives insights into the profitability of business aspects and debits and equity, estimated operating expenses, and it also forecasts the future growth of projections and financing. So, summary of financial needs, there are two questions. Number one is why are you applying for financing and how much capital you need. So, in number one questions, why are you applying for financial needs? So, you need to state your future expenses or the reason why you are applying for financing. Like for example, you want to build your own coffee house, but you don't have enough budget to make it. So that's why you state you have the reason, or yeah, you have the reason to have the financing. Okay. Number two is how much capital you need. So in this question, you're going to state your budget plan for the estimated expenses of your business. So it is important that you have the idea of how much it cost your business, because this is also one of the um, uh, that can help you to have the financing. Fund dispersal statements. A statement is letting the lender to know this fund will be used with supporting documents. Cash flow is all about the numbers instead of statements of words. So again, there are two questions in loan fund dispersal. Number one is tell how you intend to disperse the loan fund. After getting the approval letter of the loan sanctions, then the lender moves to the disbursement process, in which some legal informations are performed completely. Some legal documents are prepared on time so that receiver or borrower are eligible to take out a loan amount into their account. So it is showing that how you are, it is showing that you are eligible to take the loans. Back up your statement with supporting data. So it is important also that you have your supporting documents or supporting data just to support the process of applying for financing, to have this, that you are able or you are eligible to take the loans. Pro forma cash flow statements or a budget. The term pro forma and means a statement of forecast of a financial statement. A financial statement is a written report that details the activities and financial performance of a business. So a pro forma financial statement is a forecast of a business or financial statement will try to predict how will company will perform within a specific time or period. So it including the operating investings and financial activities. It is a prime interest to show you how you intend to repay how much and when cash must flow in and out of your business. So it is a pro forma cash flow statement, which is like for example, it is a estimated forecast of the financial statements or the financial statements. So there are a time period within 3 years or 3 years or to predict how well company will perform within a specific time or period. So kung ano na ba yung nangyayari sa ginawa mong loan. um, 3 years income projections. So 3 years income projections is an estimate of the financial result, profit and loss. You'll see your business, I mean from your business, and then in the next future 3 years. It includes the projected income and deductible expenses. It is often presented in the form of an income statement taking into account revenues, cost of goods sold, gross profits, and operating expenses. So 3 years income projection. So it is important to have, or I mean to state the projections, the income projections, um, in your business, and after, the 3 future years. So you have that you need to present the forms of an income statements or a income, um, the flow of income, the revenues, the cost of goods sold, and the gross profit operating expenses. So 3 years within, future 3 years. So to have the result, the profit and loss, or ilan na ba yung kinikita mo, yung nabawas mo, or ilan na ba yung nalugi ka. So that's all. That's how 3 years income projection works. Projected balance sheet. A projected balance sheet is a pro forma balance sheet that are statements that show the estimated change of a company for company financial status, like investings, including the investments, including the assets, the liabilities, and the financial equity. So projected balance sheets are important because they can facilitate strategic and effective planning for a business. So in standardized format, they include a balance sheet and income statements and a cash flow statement. Break-even analysis, it is a process of calculating the numbers of a unit goods service a company must sell to cover of all its cost. So break-even analysis entails calculating and examining the margin and safety for an entity based on the revenues collected and associated costs. So in other words, analysis show how many sales it takes to repay the cost of doing a business. So parang the ROI nyo sa business nyo na the returnment of investments.
Part 4, so supporting documents. This section of your plan will contain all of the records that back up the statement and the decision made in the three main part of the making of business plan. And the most common part supporting documents, or the most common supporting documents, is personal resume, owner's financial statement, credit reports, copies of lease purchase, and mortgage, etc. So, and letters of reference, contract, legal documents, and miscellaneous documents. So, for the first one, which is the personal resume, personal resume includes resume of the owners and management, and the resume should be a 1 page long, and dapat and the personal resume dapat includes work history, educational backgrounds, professional affiliation, and honors, and the focus on the personal skills on the company that you are going to apply for. So kaning personal resume mo siya usa ra siya kaban paper, contains a name, address, location, contact number, and email. So in case if makakuan ka, and ubos ana, which is the body sa resume nimo, na diha imong academic background, which is primary nimo, asa ka nag-eskwela pag elementary, then secondary asa ka nag-eskwela pag high school and senior high school, I think, then tertiary and asa ka nag-college o unsay course nimo gitake, og what, and include na dapat ibutang nimo unsa ka school year nimo o sa location sa school, After that is your work experience nimo, which is kung gatrabaho kag fast food kay malamang butang nimo dining crew kas Jollibee or asa kaga mga previous nimo trabaho. Din as for skills, learning fluently or speak English fluently kana importante kana. Then for the second one is skills gyapon communication kay VHM is communication is the key man jud when it comes to handling guests. Kay importante mo kay na dili lang sad sa guest sa mga kuan what you call this mga investors kana sila importante kay na niya usa pa sad nga importante is usa sa pinaka importante nga skills if mo apply kag HM or kuan financial chuchu is kung kanang maayo kamo kuan sa kuan work kanang Microsoft Excel. And so for the next one, which is the owner's financial statement. So owner financial statement, it is a personal assets and liabilities. For a new business owner, this will be part of your financial statement or financial section. So for the owner's financial statement, let's focus sa assets and liability. So assets gani, which means owed. Example sa asset is cash, cash in, or mga cash on hand. And as for liability is utang, owed. So mga example ani is notes payable and account payable. As for the next is credit report. And credit report is a business and personal from supplier or wholesaler credits bureau and banks. So kaning kaning credit report is a history records which is mag-focus sa imong history sa bangko kay kung paspas ba ka mo bayad kung mag-utang ka kay malamang mag-start kag business dili lang if wala kay puhunan mo utang biya ka sa utang biya ka sa bangko kay need man na. Pero before ka kautang ana ila pang tanawon imong credit score or credit reports if mo bayad ba ka on hand or wala ba kay mga bad like person na kanang criminal record or unsa pa na kay dili man sila ka pautang nimo if bati mo record. And for the next one which is copies of lease, mortgage purchase agreement and etc. So kani is more likely is or I'll say all agreement currently in force between your company and leasing agency, mortgage company or the other agency. So kani siya is mura siya it's like mura bitag ka na mag-utang kag balay ay dili mag-utang mag-rent to buy nga namoy contract ana sa landlord which is contained sa title of agreement ninyo nga before ka magpakuan sa or let's say nga ikaw ang landlord before ka magpakuan sa balay is need pa ka magbuhat og title of agreement nga unsa nga agreement nga if ma-reach niya nga amount iyan na ng balay pero gaabang pa siya karon kay rent to buy ba yan? Yeah. Next is identify the parties. Once you have the title of agreement ready, the next step should be identify. So after na imo sang hatag pangayoan og supporting documents, same ra sa akong report nga ang muutang si mong ay ang mo rent si mong balay lain sad kayo nga magpautang kag walay kaya no. Yeah. For the next is terms and conditions. So before siya mo before siya mo rent sa inyong balay nga need na siya mo or naamoy terms of agreement if nay magubaan ni madami samtang rent pa siya mo bayad dapat lang.
Letters of references. The letters of references is a cordial recommendation of the person's abilities and qualities, which is written by an individual knowledgeable of the applicant's characters, abilities, and reputation, such as resume and curriculum vitae. But there are also other types of reference letters, such as professional references, character and personal references, and academic references. Next are contracts. Contract is an enforceable legal arrangement that establishes details and regulates the rights and duties of the parties. A contract typically involves the transfer of goods, service, and money, or a promise to transfer any of those at a future dates. Examples are employment contracts, lease agreements, insurance agreements, and financial agreements. Next is other legal documents. Other legal documents is one that describes an agreement between two or more parties that has been signed with legal consent, or otherwise it will be enforceable in court. Examples: proprietary rights, insurance, limited partnership agreements, shipping contracts, and lastly, service contract agreement. And the last of the supporting documents are miscellaneous documents. Miscellaneous documents is items or mixtures of various things that are not usually connected with each other, which have been referred or mentioned to, but not included in the main body of the plan. For example, location plans, demographics, competition analysis, advertising rate sheets, and cost analysis. That is all for the supporting documents.